Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
You're listening to Voice of Korea News Now. Respected Kim Jong-un sent 198,300,000 yen of educational aid fund and stipends in Japanese currency to the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan for the democratic national education of Korean children in Japan on the occasion of the 101st birth anniversary of the great leader President Kim Il-sung. President Kim Il-sung, great Kim Jong-Il, and respected Kim Jong-un have so far sent a total of 47,123,350,390 yen of educational aid fund and stipends for the Korean children in Japan on 159 occasions. The International Institute of Social Scientists awarded a doctorate of social political science to respected Kim Jong-un on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. An awarding ceremony was held at the Monthly Assembly Hall in Pyongyang on Saturday. Present at the ceremony were Kim Yong-nam, President of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK, officials concerned, Vishwanas, Director General of the International Institute of the Truth Idea, Harishi Gupta, Director General of the Asian Regional Institute of the Truth Idea, Chairman Ramon Jimenez Lopez, and Secretary General Eleazar Rubio Aldaran of the Latin American Institute of the Truth Idea, Andre Rohekele Calonda, Chairman of the National Committee for the Study of the Truth Idea of the Democratic Congo, and Yelena Pavici, Chairwoman of the Russian Women's Union named after Kim Jong-suk, who are directors of the International Institute of Social Scientists, as well as delegations and delegates of Truth Idea study groups. Read out at the ceremony were the declaration of the Council of Directors of the International Institute of Social Scientists and the Diploma of Doctorate. Vishwanath conveyed to Kim Yong-nam the Diploma of Doctorate, Gold Medal, Cup, and the declaration of the Council of Directors for Kim Jong-un. Speaking at the ceremony, delegates of different countries said Kim Jong-un powerfully encourages the world's progressive people in their struggle for independence and expressed the belief that the Korean people under his leadership will destroy the aggressive movements of the U.S. imperialists and their followers and build a prosperous socialist country. Kim Yong-nam in his speech said, "It is an expression of admiration of the world progressives for Marshal Kim Jong-un that the International Institute of Social Scientists awarded to him the Doctorate of Social Political Science. It gives great pride and honor to the army and people of Korea who are opening a heyday of the great Baekdusan nation while it rock firm around Marshal Kim Jong-un," Kim added. Honorary citizenship of Daegu City, Ecuador was awarded to the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, the anti-Japanese heroine Kim Jong-suk, and respected Kim Jong-un. A ceremony to convey the certificates of the honorary citizenship was held at the Daegu City Hall on the 4th. Present at the ceremony were officials of the Daegu City government, Ecuadorians, and the delegation of the Korean Committee for Cultural Relations with Foreign Countries. Mayor of the city, Dario Tito Kishute, conveyed the certificates to the head of the Korean delegation. Respected Kim Jong-un recently received congratulatory messages from the President of the Republic of Union of Myanmar and Chairman of the March 26th Movement of Uruguay on the occasion of the 101st birth anniversary of the great leader President Kim Il-sung. The messages saw the dignity and might of Kim Jong-un, the Workers' Party of Korea, and the Korean people are a paragon of humankind and sincerely wished him good health. Respected Kim Jong-un received the floral basket and the congratulatory letter from the Foreign Diplomatic Corps in Korea on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, the birth anniversary of President Kim Il-sung, and the first anniversary of his election as first Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea. Upon authorization, Herman Ermin Piras Alvarez, Cuban Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to Korea conveyed the floral basket and letter to Korean Foreign Minister Park Wee-chun at the Mansudae Assembly Hall in Pyongyang on Saturday. Respected Kim Jong-un received the floral basket from the Secretary General of the International Institute of the Juche Idea and his party on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. The floral basket was conveyed to an official concerned by Secretary General Kenichi Ogami on Saturday. Respected Kim Jong-un received the floral basket and gift from the chairman of the Korean Friendship Association headquartered in Spain, now on a visit to the DPRK on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. The floral basket and gift were conveyed to an official concerned by Chairman Alejandro Cao de Benos on the 12th. On the same day, a gift for Kim Jong-un from Representative Arturo Redersad of the French chapter of the Korean Friendship Association headquartered in Spain was handed over to an official concerned. Respected Kim Jong-un received the floral basket from Takashi Nada, representative of the Ehime Modern Korean Affairs Institute in Japan on the 13th, on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, the birth anniversary of the great President Kim Il-sung. Vishwanath, Director General of the International Institute of the Juche Idea, who is the Secretary General of the International Kim Il-sung Prize Council and the International Kim Jong-Il Prize Council, Kenichi Ogami, Secretary General of the International Institute of the Juche Idea, and his company laid bouquets before the bronze statues of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Mansu Hill and paid homage to them on the 13th on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. The marathoners to participate in the 26th International Athletic Federation Mangyongdae Prize Marathon Games laid a floral basket before the bronze statues of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Mansu Hill and made a bow to them. Meanwhile, on the same day, floral baskets sent from the Women's International Democratic Federation and its president, Marcia de Campos Pereira, were laid before the bronze statues of the great Generalissimos Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on the same occasion. Kim Young-nam, president of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK, met and conversed at the Mansudae Assembly Hall in Pyongyang on Saturday with the Director General of the International Institute of the Juche Idea, Director General of the Asian Regional Institute of the Juche Idea, Chairman and Secretary General of the Latin American Institute of the Juche Idea, Chairman of the National Committee for the Study of the Juche Idea of the Democratic Congo, and Chairwoman of the Russian Women's Union named after Kim Jong-suk, who are directors of the International Institute of Social Scientists. A song and dance performance of the Mansudae Art Troupe, Fortune of Korea, was given at the East Pyongyang Grand Theater on the 13th, on the occasion of the first anniversary of the election of respected Kim Jong-un as the Supreme Leader of the Workers' Party of Korea and the state. Appreciating the performance were Kim Young-nam, Park Bong-ju, and other senior officials of the party, state and army, chairperson of Friendly Party, officials of the party, armed forces and government organs, public organizations, ministries and national institutions, service personnel of the Korean People's Army and the Korean People's Internal Security Forces, and working people in Pyongyang City. Invited there were the delegation of the Koreans in Japan and other overseas Koreans delegations and overseas compatriots for celebrating the Day of the Sun, the representative of the Pyongyang mission of the South Korean Anti-Imperialist National Democratic Front, and foreign diplomatic representatives, representatives of international organizations and military attaches and their wives in Korea and other foreigners. Put on the stage were colorful items including mixed duet and chorus, Our Leader Loved by the People, female instrumental ensemble, Mungyong Pass, dance, Higher and Faster Flying the Red Flag. The performers highly praised the immortal exploits of Marshal Kim Jong-un, who is leading the struggle for the completion of the revolutionary path to victory with his unusual wisdom, outstanding leadership ability, and noble virtues. A meeting of Koreans in Japan was held at the Korean Hall of Culture in Tokyo on the 13th, on the occasion of the 101st birth anniversary of the great leader Generalissimo Kim Il-sung. Present there were Ho Jong-man, Chairman and Vice Chairman of the Central Standing Committee of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan, leading officials of the central organizations and business firms of the General Association, the Chairman of the Kanto Regional Headquarters of the General Association, and officials of the General General Association, Korean compatriots, teachers and students of Korea University. Chairman Ho Jong-man in his report said that General Kim Il-sung organized the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan and brightly illumined the road for the movement of Koreans in Japan with his original idea and theory on the movement of overseas Korean compatriots. He said happiness of Koreans in Japan is unthinkable apart from the prosperity of the motherland. He expressed a resolve to make the General Association a powerful patriotic organization with firm tradition, reliable mass foundation, and bright prospect under the leadership of respected Marshal Kim Jong-un. The letter to Marshal Kim Jong-un was adopted at the meeting. That day, a lecture was given by the General Association at the Korean Hall of Culture in Tokyo to celebrate the 101st birth anniversary of Generalissimo Kim Il-sung. A video program, Eternal Benefactor, was screened. A meeting of foreign crewmen was held at Wonsan Port on Saturday in celebration of the 101st birth anniversary of the great leader President Kim Il-sung. The participants laid bouquets before the bronze statue of President Kim Il-sung in Wonsan City and paid respects to him. Hung on the front wall of the venue of the meeting were smiling portraits of great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-Il. Present there were captain and crewmen of the Panamanian ship Sister 5. Speakers at the meeting highly praised President Kim Il-sung as an ever-victorious, iron-willed, brilliant commander who set out on the road of revolution in his early years, defeated the Japanese imperialists and liberated the country, and opened the beginning of the downhill of the U.S. imperialists for the first time in history by leading the Fatherland Liberation War to victory. The letter to respected Kim Jong-un was adopted at the meeting. Respected Marshal Kim Jong-un sent birthday feast spread to Ri-un-lim, a centenarian in Ryongbong-dong-wan, Hesan City of Korea. Centenarian Ri and her family members and relatives were greatly moved after receiving the feast table. The Jong-Il Literary Prize was recently instituted in the DPRK. The prize is awarded to writers who create the best literary works of the year, selected from full-length and medium-length books, as well as the works carried in different kinds of literary publications. The participants in the 3rd April Spring People's Art Festival visited Mangyongdae, the birthplace of President Kim Il-sung, on Saturday. They laid bouquets and flowers before the tombs of his grandparents Kim Bo-hyun and Ri Bo-ik, and his parents Kim Hyung-jik and Kang Ban-suk, and observed the moment silence. Representative Cho Il-min and members of the Pyongyang mission of the South Korean Anti-Imperialist National Democratic Front went round the venue of the 15th Kim Il-sung Festival Saturday on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. The DPRK team defeated the Japanese team 3-1 on the 13th at the preliminary games of Group H for the 2014 Asia Under-14 Football Championships held in Chinese Hong Kong. The DPRK will have the 3rd game with the Mongolian team on the 16th. Kenichi Ogami, Secretary General of the International Institute of the Juche Idea, and his party flew in Pyongyang Saturday to celebrate the Day of the Sun. Delegation of the Confederation of Koreans in Canada, headed by its chairman Kim Soo-hae. Delegation of the Council of Korean Compatriots in New Zealand, headed by its Secretary General Kim Nam-soo. Delegation of the Association of Korean Businessmen in China, headed by its chairman Pyo Sung-ryong, and Chairman Park Yong-ha of the General Association of Koreans in Australia, arrived in Pyongyang by air on Saturday to celebrate the Day of the Sun. That day, delegation of the Association of Korean Businessmen in Dandong of China, headed by its chairman, Kim Tak-jong, arrived here by train. And the firm visiting group of Korean compatriots in Japan, led by Park Ha-chul, flew in Pyongyang on the same day. A spokesman for the Committee for the Peaceful Reunification of Korea gave a statement to media on Sunday. The statement said, "The South Korean reptile media, instigated by the puppet group, abused that the North increases atmosphere of celebration on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, while creating extreme wartime situation. They release such outbursts that it is an attempt for demonstrating the validity of its system and strengthening its internal unity. Concerning the single-hearted unity based on the kindred feelings between the leader and people, they slander it as an attempt for what they call inducing loyalty and rallying the system. They went so far as to say that the supreme leadership of the North is troubled with the proposal of the South for dialogue. The South Korean puppets, together with their master, the United States, have staged a North-targeted nuclear war movement, challenging the just toughest measures of our army and people for defending the sovereignty and dignity of the country. In addition, they even insult the celebration of the Day of the Sun and maliciously slander the supreme dignity of the DPRK. It is another unpardonable extra-large provocation against us. Whatever desperate confrontation with fellow countrymen should have discretion, and ignorance also has the limit. The reality clearly shows that the present conservative group is also the group of traitors, little different from the Rim Young-bak group. Nobody in the world can placard advance, winning victory after victory with indestructible military power under the brilliant rays of the sun of Chutse. Whoever dare to impair our supreme dignity will not escape stern punishment, the statement warned. A spokesman for the Committee for the Peaceful Reunification of Korea asked the Korean Central News Agency on Sunday as regards the proposal for dialogue presented by the present Chief Executive and Minister of Unification of South Korea. The spokesman said, "At a dinner with the assemblymen from the Saenuri Party in Blue House on April the 11th, the present South Korean Chief Executive announced her stand to have dialogue with the North. Minister of Unification Jong-Il made public an exceptional statement towards the North that day and proposed that the issue of normalization of the Kaesong industrial zone be settled through dialogue. He said he hopes the authorities of the North respond to dialogue for discussing the issues they want to discuss." Concerning this, an important official of the Blue House reportedly said the statement towards the North released by the Unification Minister is an official proposal for dialogue reflecting the will of the present ruler. The dialogue was presented by the present ruler and Unification Minister of South Korea, who said until some time ago that the North should stop provocation and it is not the climate for dialogue. Concerning it, officials concerned, media and experts of South Korea raise hue and cry as if it is for changing the present acute situation, describing it as a meaningful drastic change. However, it is no more than a crafty trick to evade their responsibility for the crisis of the Kaesong industrial zone, mislead the public at home and abroad, and conceal the confrontational nature. If the South Korean authorities truly have a will for dialogue, they should give up the fundamental stand of confrontation, not paying a lip service. Whether the dialogue is made or not in the future entirely depends on the attitude of the South Korean authorities, the spokesman added. Ko Byung-taek, South Korean resident in Japan, was sentenced innocent at the South Korean Supreme Court on the 11th. He had been sentenced to 10 years in prison and same period suspension of qualification on the groundless spying charges during the time of Park Chung-hee's use in dictatorship. Meetings of solidarity with the Korean people were held in Britain and Germany on the 6th. Present at the meetings were personages of different sections and people in those countries. Speakers at the meetings said nobody will overpower the party, army and people of Korea under the outstanding leadership of respected Kim Jong-un, and Korea will achieve final victory in the confrontation with the US imperialists. A solidarity statement supporting the Korean people in the anti-US resistance was adopted at the meeting held in Germany. On the other hand, a rally was held before the South Korean embassy in Chile on the 5th, condemning the United States and its followers for their war moves against the DPRK. The Uruguayan newspaper La Juventud, the Syrian newspaper South Ashab, and internet magazine of Cominform Information Service of Finland posted articles condemning the US imperialists and their followers for their moves to suffocate the DPRK. Meanwhile, the Oceanic Regional Preparatory Committee for celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Korean people's victory in the Great Fatherland Liberation War recently issued a statement denouncing the United States and its followers for their war moves against the DPRK. And that's the end of the news read by Choi Jong-Nam. This is Voice of Korea. The daily Rodong Sinmun on Sunday ran a commentary under the title, "Who Caused the Shutdown of Kaesong Industrial Zone?" The commentary said, "Some time ago, the South Korean chief executive concerning our important measure for Kaesong Industrial Zone released such unreasonable remarks that the North suspended the zone, which was in good operation. A group of the Samurai Party, an ultra-conservative media as well, spread false rumor as if we put pressure upon the South with the issue of the zone. The responsibility for the shutdown of the Kaesong Industrial Zone rests entirely on the South Korean group of traitors that turns the zone into a source of war, taking it as the last target of inter-Korean confrontation. The South Korean parties should not act rashly, keeping in mind that their provocative remarks will put an end to the work of the Kaesong Industrial Zone for good and all," the commentary warned. That was the gist of a commentary under the title, "Who Caused the Shutdown of Kaesong Industrial Zone?" carried in the daily Rodong Sinmun on Sunday. This is Voice of Korea.
People cannot forget him. A song is written representing the ardent yearning for the great leader President Kim Il-sung, who devoted his all only to the people. He calls on the people in the rainy morning. He cares for the whole country a snowy night. There he can come on fine day. He comes and comes to show his love. Leader President Kim Il-sung was on the road of field guidance for the people all his life. His footprints of field guidance are found in every nook and corner of the country, from a mountain village in the northern part of the country to a rural village along the demarcation line, and from a small fishing hamlet on the east coast to a far-off island on the West Sea. He visited them rain or snow, and worked even deeper at night or early morning, and didn't mind cold wind or scorching sunshine. He met people and learned about their living conditions and discussed how they could be well off. When he visited a factory, he dropped in at the dormitory and tasted boiled rice for workers. When he visited people's houses, he opened rice pot and asked about their livelihood. He comes to kindly take us by the hands. He values our simple ways. There is nothing to envy under his care, but he walks on to show us greater love. Kim Il-sung worked many roles in this country. Nobody knows how many people he met and how many places he visited. So, poets of this country said he met people as many as the happy Korean people, and visited places as many as all parts of the paradise. Saying he was most pleased when among the people, he continued to work for them. He always found himself among children, saying he feels 10 years younger than them. Though they are grown-ups now, they don't forget those days when they found themselves in his warm embrace.
10살 때라고 생각했는데 그때 저는 처음으로 수련님 앞에서 답착을 했습니다. 그때 수련님께서는 아주 잘한다고.
I think it was when I was 10 years old. I sang a solo for the first time before President Kim Il-sung. He said, I sing very well, and clapped his hands before others, and requested another song.
오보이 수령님을 모신 설맞이 모임의 신방이 내가 이 세상에서 제일 행복해 하고 소리 높게 외치고 싶었습니다.
When I participated in the New Year celebration held in the presence of President Kim Il-sung, I wanted to cry. I'm the happiest boy in the world.
저는 꼭 꿈이 꾼 것만 같았습니다.
I seemed to be dreaming. President Kim Il-sung held me in his arms, and he had a picture taken with me. Really, that day was the most precious moment, and my most valuable memory in my whole life. Really, his sun-like smile and warm bosom are unforgettable. Our people cannot forget President Kim Il-sung, no matter how long time may pass. His great image is remembered in the hearts of the Korean people forever as the image of kind-hearted father. You've been listening to a musical account. People cannot forget him. This is Voice of Korea.
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz and 13,650 kHz. For Middle East and North Africa between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South Americas between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,710 kHz and 15,180 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.